you here on the post-game show as we are.
Your child pours their heart and soul into their dreams.
You're so ready for this.
But underage drinking can stop a young mind and body from performing at its best.
Okay, everyone, it's time.
We're ready.
Make sure your star keeps shining. Start the conversation about the dangers of alcohol with tips at talkitoutnc.org.
Get the Triangle Sports Leader anytime, anywhere with the new app from 99.9 The Fan. If it's live on The Fan, you can listen on the app. Plus, all your favorite podcasts at your fingertips. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
Raising kids is a roller coaster. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. But most times you wonder how your kid turned out so well. That's how. You did the hard work, made the right decisions, like talking about alcohol before it could be a problem. Go to talkitoutnc.org. Get resources on how to talk about underage drinking. So Mom, Dad, keep up the good work. It's worth it. Talk early. Talk often. Talk It Out NC.
Welcome back to the High School OT postgame show presented by Talk It Out NC. You can visit talkitoutnc.com or .org, to get all of the resources and the tools that you need to start the conversation today to stop underage drinking. Evan Moesta here alongside Tyler Clark at Keenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, where Hough just defeated Millbrook 21-0 in this one. Hough's offense, it was enough. The Huskies' defense was stellar. What did you see out of Hough's defense that allowed them to pitch their second consecutive shutout here on the biggest stage?
Hough kept Gray guessing. He never knew where they were bringing pressure, dropping everybody. He just was really under duress tonight. He was running when he didn't have to. You could see the D-line for Hough just getting back there. And that front seven, that linebacker box of Hough is going to be special.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this one. It started out with Ethan Royal, as we mentioned. He is the game's MVP. He starts with the rushing score here on the option keeper. That gives Hough the early 7-0 advantage. But that Millbrook defense and some of their star players showed up on the defensive side of the ball, including Quentin Cipher. He gets a big interception here. It puts the Wildcats in good field position, but all night long, they could not get anything going on the offensive side of the ball, and that ended up being the difference in this one and the story in this one. Hough coming back later in this game, the dump off to Jamarian Morrison. Watch this. He's swallowed up in the backfield by Cipher, holds him off, and then continues to fight his way all the way back inside of the 5-yard line. A huge catch and run for Morrison. That sets up Hough for a score to start the fourth quarter, and that is Ethan Royal. He rolls out to the right side, finds Jameer Anderson. We talked in the postgame show about Anderson and how he's had a knack for big catches in big games. That seemed to be the dagger at 14-0 with the way Hough was playing defense. A lot more from the Huskies here. They finished really strong in this one as they take home the 8A state championship. Jason Wilkerson picking off Bryson Gray. That ended up being kind of the final dagger there for Hough with the big return, and that really got the Husky sideline fired up. They've had so many close calls over the years in the playoffs, but finally they break through with their defense. Wilkerson forcing the turnover there for Hough. And for good measure, Ethan Royal, 74 yards out, nothing but clean Orange County air ahead of him, and he puts the finishing touches on the first football state championship in program history. Your final score tonight in the 8A title game, Hough 21, Millbrook no score. Tyler, we talked a little bit about this earlier. Ethan Royal did a really good job managing the game and taking what came to him and made the most of it for Hough. What stood out to you the most about Royal's performance tonight?
His decision-making. Other than the interception, he really didn't seem to make the wrong read at all. He was either running it. He didn't, wait for his receivers to get open for too long. If he didn't see his first 2 reads open, he was running. He was taking off. And that was really good to see for Royal.
This Millbrook team, obviously a lot of talent on the defensive end of the ball. What are some things kind of looking back in this, in hindsight, that you feel like maybe could have turned the tide a little bit earlier? It felt like there were some opportunities early in that game that just kind of slipped out of Millbrook's reach, whether it was a blocked punt opportunity or a chance to really pin Hough deep and then score the ball, and they just couldn't string those 2-3 plays in a row that they needed in order to get the momentum to climb back into the game.
And that play that we saw where Quentin Cypher missed the tackle, that was a third down play for Millbrook, and it was 7-0 Hough. That game could have been totally different if Quentin Cyphers and the team would have brought that guy down, but he just overpowered Millbrook's defense. And then the missed block punt opportunity was really crucial too. You know, Hough just made the right plays at the right time, kept their feet driving, kept their head down, and kept playing the whole game.
Lots of exciting games so far today. We've had two of them. Hough, obviously, the 21-0 win in the 1A state championship, a big win for Wilson Prep. That was also Wilson Prep's first state championship in program history. They win it on a game-winning field goal, 9-8 tonight against Robbinsville. It is a last-second 20 with 20 seconds to go. They hit a game-winning field goal and win that one. So two really exciting games. Again, we're going to bring you press conferences here. Millbrook up at the podium now on the High School OT postgame show presented by Talk It Out NC. Back here at Keenan Stadium, again, Millbrook right now up at the podium. You're going to be able to see that press conference in its entirety tonight on HighSchoolOT.com. Back to that 1A state championship. Let's go through some of those highlights. Again, Wilson Prep going up against Robbinsville. Lots of big plays early in this one. Robbinsville gets good field position in a scoreless first quarter, but they're not able to find the end zone. Big play there for Robbinsville sets up an answer for Wilson Prep, and this big run here by Ethan Nelson. Remember that name, Ethan Nelson. Rattles off a 70-plus yard run here. It ends up setting up a touchdown for Wilson Prep. I believe we have audio now from that Millbrook press, so we're going to take a quick break, bring that Millbrook one on.
Game back.
All right, guys, we really appreciate you coming and answering some questions.
All right, thank y'all.
So that's the Millbrook Wildcats. Coach Lamar Marshall, Rashad Streets, Quentin Cypher there. The Wildcats falling 21-0 tonight to Hough. And now we'll have Coach Sean Baker and the victorious Hough Huskies up to the podium for their press conference.
Yeah. Lance, what they gonna say now, Lance? What they gonna say now?
I don't know, bro. Is it finally time to talk?
Over here, Ryan. Over here, big
We're
brother.
gonna talk soon. We're gonna talk now.
What's there to talk about? They put my government on here. First 10 times. That's killing Shit, I 7. I lost my damn list. Coach, I had 7. Oh my God. Nickel.
All right, guys. Congratulations. Great game, great season. Coach, if you would start us off just with your thoughts on your guys.
Man, I thought our guys played exceptional, man, all year long. We've been through ups and downs. We battled, you know what I'm saying, like the ups and downs that nobody ever sees in practice and things that we go through. I just thought they played a hell of a season. Our defense, I told y'all back in August 26th, we had the best defense in the state, and they showed it tonight on the big stage. Man, just super proud of this dude right here, man. Like, you know, we criticized him from the moment that he started, just trying to get him, you know, to read the defenses and not take off so fast. And once he got comfortable, you know, it was lights out. And, you know, nobody on our team, you know, ever panicked. Our defense, you know, I'm an offensive guy. And I tell everybody all day long, we feed off our defense. You know, the offensive guys get mad at me at practice. I get defense more time because we can't stop nobody. We can't win. You know, so I'm just super proud of them, man. Our coaches, the endless hours, the time away from our families, things like that, man. So I'm just excited and, you know, thrilled of the outcome.
Samari, having been here all these years, how does it finally feel to get there? Because you guys have been close, not able to get there. You got there.
It definitely feels great. Like you said, I've been here for 4 years, so them first 3 years, they were all tough losses. And that was my last time I played with a lot of great seniors. So I just promised them, you know, when the time is right, I promise you I'll bring it back home to them.
And I'm just, you know, there's been so many great players that played for Hough, so many great coaches too, kind of doing it for all of them because they didn't get the development. What's that like for you?
It's great. We had some alumni on the sidelines or in the stands, and you know, just seeing them happy for us just shows the support staff that we have at Hough, and kind of brings the whole culture of like why we play how we play. I mean, people way before us was playing like this, so it's just a tradition that we got to carry on.
Ethan accounted for all 3 touchdowns tonight. The last one, though, really nailing the coffin. Didn't know you had that gear. You took off, and the one chased you down. What did you see in their defense that not only allowed the last run, but just allowed you to kind of be efficient and kind of methodically go through the game?
Really, I mean, watching the film, these past couple weeks, even though we had a bot, so we worked on some of the stuff that they ran, and just seeing that on that one play that everybody was shooting to the right, and I just got outside and got upfield.
What's it feel like to win the championship? I mean, because you have not said anything all year. Now you won.
It feels amazing to get it done for the guys and send our senior class out. It's really a good feeling.
Yeah. Coach, first time I saw you, it was at the Keep Pounding High School Classic, where after you winning at South Point, you said it felt good getting the monkey off your back. Right. Now that you guys won a championship, you know, how does it feel?
I got the center block off her back. So, I mean, it's amazing, man. Like, again, man, I'm excited for myself, but it's more about these dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, they do all the hard work. You know, they come in and listen to us yell and scream and punish run them and all this stuff. And, you know, and for them to just take the coaching and do what we ask them to do, it's a thrill. But again, like, I'm excited, but I'm more excited for them in the program and the school and things like that, because I'm not here without them, you know, and I know there's a lot of good coaches out here in the state and stuff, but you're not a good coach without good players and good coaches. And I've been blessed to have a little bit of both.
And another question I have for you, how are you going to celebrate this undefeated season?
It's not answer that one.
I keep it feel. How you know what? I may know what. I don't know. I really don't, man. I'm excited, man. You know, I tell you what this does, man. It gives you the taste that you want to be back. You know what I mean? Like, going through this experience, and you know, now our younger guys, they know what it takes to get here. And you know, losing Samari, but having Ryan and Jamarion win MVPs, which they're sophomores, and Ethan win the game MVPs, the juniors. So we got a lot of talent coming back. And so, I'm gonna take some time off, enjoy it, because I need to get away from these foods for a minute anyway. But I can't even tell you, man. Like I so much stuff I want to do, but we'll see.
Ryan,
Let me know.
Ryan, you guys shut out the two best teams in your class in the state in the two biggest games of the year. Talk about how you guys were able to do it, and were you surprised how well you were able to play tonight?
Nah, man, I wasn't surprised because we prepared like no other team. You got guys like Coach Chachi, Coach Bird, Coach Remons, like guys like that. So, and then you also got guys like Samari, guys like LJ, and guys like Chris Hilliard. So, it's just a blessing to, shut out teams like this. And, it's all guys playing.
You guys are so young. What's the future?
Win 2 more.
Samari,
All right, LeBron.
Those guys threw at your direction a lot more than we've really seen all season. You lived up to the hype around you. I think I only saw you go maybe one catch, and it was like a zone coverage. Just and in the film session, what did you see in their offense that allowed you to be so efficient tonight?
The receivers weren't bad. I'm pretty sure they're going to go to college just like me. So I went in just knowing I had to do what I had to do. Like you said, they did throw it a lot. So it was definitely more fun to be a part of the game and not just watching the game. So hats off to Millbrook for just giving me a memorable last game.
Coach, what happened with the punts? They were in a lot of your punts. They blocked 2, took 1. What happened?
The smartest kid in our team was calling the wrong protection. And so they were overloading the left side, and he was giving us a Larry Ricky call, which has the center blocking left, which we didn't want him to snap and try to block. And he was just supposed to call the gunner in to make the 4th guy, and he becomes the 5th. But he kept trying to, do it regular, and we were leaving gaps open because we had nobody to block the guy. And so he's trying to snap, and the ball is coming back limp, and we had no time to get it off. And so it was just miscommunication. He wasn't calling the guy in, and we didn't have a guy for the guy that was coming.
Ethan, I was curious. You guys beat South Carolina State champion. You beat the Virginia State finalists. You beat the defending North Carolina State champion. You beat 3 or 4 quarterfinal teams, and you beat the Eastern Regional champion. How good is this Hough team now and historically?
This team is really good. And we put the work in to get to this point. Since April. Since April, we just come in early morning practices, afternoon practices, it didn't matter. Came in, put the hard work and dedication in, and this is the outcome.
Coach, I wanted to ask you you mentioned the cinder block analogy. 1 game in a state final, 1 win. Where does it go from here?
Again, like Pete said, man, you hope to get back here again and have another state championship. Now we got young guys, they know how I feel, they know what it takes to get here, the hard work it takes, you know what I mean? So I really think the senior leadership is going to be, better, you know what I'm saying? Because, again, Samari, Chris, and all, these guys have seen a great senior group lead this team. And so they're just going to build up on this momentum, and I think it's going to take us a long way. But, again, I tell everybody, boy, listen, it's hard work getting here. It's hard work. And, I get everybody say that Hough hadn't got over the hump and did this. It's hard. When you win in 13 games and you losing 1 and you don't get here. So I think somebody at the conference said something that really resonated with me. It's like, man, the game that's hardest to get, the game that's the hardest is the game that is to get here. The semifinal game. That's the game you want to win to get here. And, it says more pressure to win that game than the state championship. And honestly, I see that as true because when you get here, you just coaching ball. Semifinals, you're trying to get here. If you lose, you go home. But so I can see, I really want to be back here next year. You know what I mean? So we're going to work and we'll figure it out.
Coach, are you thinking about people from your life that got you to this point? People, maybe your family?
Man, you know what? First, God, you know what I'm saying? It's the center right there. Like, without him, like, it's, I mess with these guys all the time. Like, God don't play about me. You know what I mean? Like, and he don't, you know what I'm saying? But, like, my family, my wife, you know what I'm saying? Like, she holds everything down during the season. Taking our kids to school, taking them to practice, doing all this stuff. My daughter and my kids, they allow me to be with these guys and spend time away from home, which my other coaches' wives do that as well. But I would say my wife and my old coach Benny McMurray, that was my high school coach at White. I think he was in the stands tonight. So just a whole bunch of coaches to lean on, man. Even coming into this week, like Coach Brown from Grimsley, Coach Rack, Coach Capone, like I called all them guys to see how they do this thing, you know what I mean? And those are guys I kind of, look up to and trying to get to their tier. Brown texted me, I just said, man, now I can sit at the table with you. So, I just it's a multitude of people, you know what I mean? So it's fun, man. It's fun. And, this dude right here, he makes it all worthwhile too, and all three of them, but, he ain't no good to me no more.
Say that.
Nah, he can't say that.
All right, guys. Well, let's celebrate. We appreciate you.
Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Twice. Congratulations.
Hey, Langston, make sure the caption say what they gonna say now.
What they gonna say?
Put deep.
That was Coach Deshaun Baker and the Hough Huskies. Obviously very happy winning their first state championship in program history. Nothing beats the emotion and the pageantry of seeing that clock hit 0 and knowing that you're going there. And this is a Hough team. I've said it a lot. Just constantly couldn't get past that Grimsley or that Weddington or that Mallard Creek over the last couple of years. And they kept getting so close and so close and so close. And this is the team that breaks through. And I think what's special about it is, as you saw in that press conference, Ethan Royal's back next year. Jamarian Morrison is back next year. You look at Ryan Peterson, back next year as well. There's just so many guys who are going to be able to contribute to this team next season. What stands out to you the most when you kind of look at this Hough roster, and they're built to win now and they're built to win down the road in the future as well?
What surprised me is that, normally in press conferences like that, you put the seniors up there. But you had Ethan Royal, he is the quarterback, yes, but he is still a junior at the end of the day. And the fact that he's still a leader at this point in time in his career, it's sky's the limit for this Hough team.
Let's go back into those highlights. We had showed you a little bit of, but again, Ethan Royal tonight, very efficient. He accounts for all 3 touchdowns for Hough. He starts it off with this rushing score. He threw 1 interception in tonight's game. As Coach Baker kind of alluded to in the press conference, the punt formations were tough for Hough. Millbrook gets a couple of big stops. They get a punt block, but they also get this interception from Quentin Cipher that put him in business there. But when Millbrook got that good field position, all they did with that drive was go 4 yards back. And, that's a testament to what Hough's defense was able to do. And then this guy right here, Jamarian Morrison, Tyler mentioned earlier here in the show, this is a 3rd down play where he just breaks out from Cipher. Cipher actually chases him down inside the 5, but that sets up the big touchdown to Jameer Anderson. And this, Tyler, felt like a game where if Hough was able to score one more time in the 4th quarter, there was not going to be a chance that Millbrook was going to be able to score twice to tie or even 3 times to take the lead. That touchdown to Anderson starts the 4th quarter. It gives Hough the 14-0 advantage. And then from there, Hough's defense picks off its lone pass of the night. It's a Jason Wilkerson interception of Bryson Gray that really fires up the Hough sideline. And it sets the stage for the dagger there in the final minute, as with 59 seconds left in this one, Ethan Royal rattles off what is a 74-yard touchdown run. I also mentioned that 1A game. Let's play those highlights for you as well. Wilson Prep against Robbinsville. Black Knights looking for their 15th state championship in program history. They start off with a big play, but Kaiser Tesateski gets hurt on this drive. This is in the very first quarter. He's one of the leading playmakers for Robbinsville. Losing him kind of put the Black Knights behind the ball offensively. One guy who was really strong with the rock in his hands was Ethan Nelson. A 74-yard run here puts the Tigers inside of the red zone, where Trayvon Usher, the championship's MVP, drops the touchdown right in the bucket to Jazeer Vines. That gets Wilson Prep on the board 6-0. Mind you, Wilson Prep does not kick. They don't kick field goals. They don't kick extra points. So they miss the 2-point try. They're up 6-0. Robbinsville, they answer right back with a big play of their own. Inside of the 5-yard line, the Black Knights are in business late in the second quarter. They hand the ball off then to Isaac Collins, and he punches it in. The ensuing 2-point try is good, and that gives Robbinsville an 8-6 lead heading into halftime. That 8-6 score holds up until there are 20 seconds left. I told you, Wilson Prep doesn't kick the ball. But Coach Phil Dickens goes for it, and Ethan Nelson nails the 28-yard try. That puts Wilson Prep ahead 9-8. Robbinsville has one last opportunity to try to march right back down the field. Coach Dickens, his son Manny, gets a huge interception, and that is how the Wilson Prep Tigers win their first state championship in program history. A huge one there. The first charter school in NCHSA history to take home a state title. A big win there in a defensive battle. 9-8. 2 more games set for Kenan Stadium tomorrow. They will be at 4 and 8 o'clock, just like today. They will start with the 6A state championship. That is Middle Creek facing off against Watauga. Middle Creek looking for their first ever. This is Watauga's first trip to a state final in over 4 decades. That should be a really exciting one tomorrow to kick things off here in Chapel Hill at 4 o'clock. Following at 8 o'clock might be the biggest primetime matchup, Tyler. That's Clayton against Grimsley. It's Aiden Smalls, Faison Brandon, Keyshawn Stansel. We can go down the whole list of everybody who will be on display tomorrow night at 8 o'clock right here on this field at Kenan Stadium. The Stars will definitely be out. Before we head off here on the postgame show, Tyler, what do you kind of expect out of tomorrow? These are what could be 2 of the bigger heavyweight battles that we're going to get this entire weekend.
This Watauga and Middle Creek game gets me excited.
Yep.
These teams put up points and put the ball in the air. I cannot wait to see this ball fly around Kenan tomorrow. And, the primetime matchup.
Yep.
You've got NC State versus Tennessee in the quarterback realm. And then you've got probably one of the best defensive lines probably in the country in Clayton. So it's going to be a really exciting one.
Lots to bring forward to you tomorrow here on High School OT. If you have not seen already, head over to HighSchoolOT.com. We're going to have full coverage from both games today. We've got stories, we've got highlights, we've got press conferences, live blogs, all of that for the 1A and the 8A state championships. You can have all of that, and then tomorrow we'll have more preview coverage. We'll have the High School OT pregame show presented by Alpaca Peruvian Chicken. Joel Bryant will join us for that one, and then we'll be right back here again. Once the 6A game goes final, we'll have press conferences and some postgame analysis for you here presented by Talk It Out NC. We'll do the same for that big 8 o'clock game. And then again, Saturday, 4 games at 2 different locations. The 4A and the 2A state championships will take place in Hickory at Lenoir-Rhine. And then on Saturday, you'll have 3A and 5A in Durham at Durham County Memorial Stadium. For Evan Moesta, Tyler Clark, Joel Bryant, and everyone else here at High School OT who helped make today's championships possible, congratulations to Wilson Prep and congratulations to the Hough Huskies. Thanks again for tuning in to the High School OT postgame show by Talk It Out NC. One last reminder, there's never a bad time to start the conversation to stop underage drinking. Just like some of these big plays in these big games, it takes a lot of teamwork. Visit talkitoutnc.org. Get the tools and the resources that you need to start that conversation today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have you tomorrow for the High School OT pregame show presented by Alpaca Peruvian Chicken.